Morning, everyone, and LT2, wherever she went. Happy to be here, and super grateful to have so many of you spend the time with us these days. I know how hard it is to get away from work, particularly like in the cab yesterday when we had people's networks going down and my watch was going crazy. all my engineers back home, they're all like, biting their fingernails, wondering. They call me the Grim Reaper, so whenever I go to visit someone, their network goes down. So we'll see what happens today. But super happy to be here. And what a beautiful venue, right? So I think this one, maybe this year is a little better than last year, maybe just a little. And I'm judging by 6 or 7 of you that came up to me last night, and everyone had the same comment. I love this place. I can walk in the shower without my light on my phone or my glasses or a magnifying glass, and I could tell the difference between body wash, conditioner, shampoo. For those of you that weren't here last year, big joke, none of us could figure it out. My skin hasn't been so soft for the past year. I think I used conditioner the whole time. So to kick it off today, I think this is a good dovetail into what Eric was speaking about. I don't know if you caught that Eric's an advisor for Carbon Black, and Carbon Black today is an entity within the VMware umbrella. So we're going to touch on that a little bit. Being here up first and having the first partner, I'm proud to introduce VMware. They've been a huge part of our success in the WAN space. We were early adopter, most of you know, of the VeloCloud solution. Now it's part of the VMware ecosystem. And today we're going to go through the bigger ecosystem and how we're starting to use it, not only on the network side, but to integrate on our mobility side as well. As you can see, Gartner Magic Quadrants, we're both leaders again in 2023, so that's 3 times for us, like 4 times, I believe, for VMware on this space. So we're all doing the right things. Just for SD-WAN alone, our growth average over the past 2 years has been 23%, actually a little higher, which is pretty impressive to absorb that type of growth, because what we have in the network side, for every edge we put out there, on average, there's about 3.5 times more products that we bring in, we manage for you. So whether that be a fixed wireless access device, broadband circuits, Ethernet circuits, satellite connections, voice devices, cloud firewall. So there's a multiplier there that we have to manage. And for every device that we put out there, so for every edge device we put out there, there's about 3.5% of them that actually report back to us every day with some type of issue, whether that be service affecting or service outage. But the neat thing for us is that we have a lot of automation that takes care of it. We'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow. But 98% of those notifications are not outages. So the point being that what we're deploying and what our solution architect with all of you is working today. So as a nerd, I love the way VMware operates. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, I don't know if you guys follow them as closely as I do, but historically, they're very good. Their culture is about disrupting themselves. So they're always looking for new technologies, a lot of times that aren't very analogous to what they're doing in their success of the day. Probably the first would have been containers. So, VMware and ESXi, their virtualization layer, was direct competitors with containers when they came out, Kubernetes and the like. They bought Heptio to help them figure out how to bring containers into their environment and their ecosystem and allow them for enterprise to be used. So today, a lot of what we're putting in our network is containerized. They did the same thing with VeloCloud. They moved from a data center-centric company, and now they became a WAN company and leading in the Magic Quadrant year after year. So that continues. And what we'll talk about today is Amr will come up first. He'll talk about the latest acquisition that I feel is a game changer in the SD-WAN space. And when I say game changer, I don't mean that anyone with SD-WAN networks today is going to have to change what they do today, but you're going to have a lot more options, and the network's going to virtualize itself all the way to the edge, and we'll talk about that some. Next on deck, we'll move from the WAN and the cloud to the edge, and we'll have Ram come up, and he'll talk about edge compute and what VMware sees, where they see the edge, how they're working together to incorporate the edge into the orchestration layer for SD-WAN, so make it a ubiquitous move to the edge. Here you can see Gartner talks about the growth for edge, and there's a lot of different applications for the edge. And you saw Lori's avatar, the ability of generative AI now and how quickly that's changing to develop these virtual worlds. You can see that Gartner, the immersive experience, that's what that's all about. Being able to do a little bit of augmented reality, and you'll have to be doing that quickly on site. So that's where edge compute is going to play a big role. Next, we will get to end user compute. So Benny will come up and he'll talk a little bit about how end user compute, which historically has kind of been a separate division within VMware. I think the likes of MDM type products, Carbon Black is part of that, but there's a whole ecosystem there that is now being completely integrated into the orchestration layer that includes the SASE and SD-WAN network to the edge, and now all the way to the end user. So think devices. So he'll talk about, think your father's MDM on steroids. That's going to be part of his discussion. That includes ZTNA, the Carbon Black piece that Eric advises on, which is pretty interesting, and endpoint management, which is going to be all kind of included together. And how we're looking to consume that is we're looking to, and Max will come up later for a panel to talk about this, spectacular Max, to talk about how we're looking to incorporate that end user compute onto the edges that we sell our mobile device as a service and provide additional value there and make it one ubiquitous tool and ecosystem for you to manage from cloud all the way out to the device. So excited to have the VMware team come up. So Amar Akhtar, Director of SASE Product Management, he'll be first. Ram, and he told me not to try to pronounce his last name, so Ram. And Benny Chick will come up next, and after that we'll have a quick panel to discuss how we're using all these together. So welcome up, Amar.